Class 7. Lesson Plan, History. Lesson 9, The Making of Regional Cultures. Q1. Who were the Naths? Ans. The Naths were ascetics who engaged in a variety of yogic practices. Q2. Who was Anantavarman? Ans. Anantavarman was one of the most important rulers of the Ganga dynasty in the 12th century. Q3. What was called Rajputana by the British? Ans. In the 19th century, the region that constitutes most of present-day Rajasthan was called Rajputana by the British. Q4. What do you understand by the term Kathak? Ans. The term Kathak is derived from Katha, a word used in Sanskrit and other languages for story. Q5. Who were the Kathaks? Ans. The Kathaks were originally a caste of storytellers in temples of North India, who embellished their performances with gestures and songs. Q6. What are miniatures? Ans. Miniatures are small-sized paintings, generally done in watercolor on cloth or paper. Q7. What distinguished Kangra painting from other paintings? Ans. Soft colors including cool blues and greens, and a lyrical treatment of themes distinguished Kangra painting. Q8. Why do you think the second category of texts was not written down? Ans. The second category of texts was not written down because it was circulated orally and cannot be precisely dated. Q9. What does animism mean? Ans. Animism refers to attribution of living soul to plants, inanimate objects, and natural phenomena. Q10. Who were the major patrons of Kathak? Ans. The major patrons of Kathak were the Mughal emperors and their nobles and Wajid Ali Shah, the last Nawab of Awadh. Q11. What was the style of miniature that developed in Himachal Pradesh? Ans. By the late 17th century this region had developed a bold and intense style of miniature painting called Basohli. Q12. Who built Jagannath Temple at Puri? Ans. One of the most important rulers of the Ganga dynasty, Anantavarman built Jagannath Temple at Puri in the 12th century. Q13. What do terracotta plaques on the walls of temples and vihras depict? Ans. Terracotta plaques on the walls of temples and vihras, Buddhist monasteries, depict scenes of fish being dressed and taken to the market in baskets. Q14. When was the Chera kingdom established? Ans. The Chera kingdom of Mahodapuram was established in the 9th century in the southwestern part of the peninsula, part of present-day Kerala. Q15. Whom did King Ananga Bhima III dedicate his kingdom to? What did he proclaim himself? Ans. In 1230. King Ananga Bhima III dedicated his kingdom to the deity and proclaimed himself as the deputy of the god. Q16. What was name of the text that was illustrated in the miniature paintings of Himachal Pradesh? Ans. The text that was illustrated in the miniature paintings of Himachal Pradesh was Bhanudatta's Rasa Manjari. Q17. What is called Rasa Leela? Ans. The legends of Radha Krishna were enacted in folk plays called Rasa Leela, which combined folk dance with the basic gestures of the Kathak storytellers. Q18. How did regional cultures evolve? Ans. Regional cultures today are often the product of complex processes of intermixing of local traditions with ideas from other parts of the subcontinent. Q19. What is Manipravalam? Name a book written in that language. Ans. Manipravalam was a literary style referring to the two languages, Sanskrit and the regional language. The Leelatilkam, dealing with grammar and poetics, was composed in Manipravalam. Q20. Why were the Bengal Brahmanas allowed to eat fish? Ans. Brahmanas were not allowed to eat non-vegetarian food, but the popularity of fish in the local diet made the Brahmanical authorities relax this prohibition for the Bengal Brahmanas. The Brihadam Purana, a 13th century Sanskrit text from Bengal, permitted the local Brahmanas to eat certain varieties of fish. Q21. Why did minstrels proclaim the achievements of heroes? Ans. Stories about Rajput heroes were recorded in poems and songs, which were recited by specially trained minstrels. These preserved the memories of heroes and were expected to inspire others to follow their example. Ordinary people were also attracted by these stories, which often depicted dramatic situations and a range of strong emotions: loyalty, friendship, love, valor, anger, etc. Q22. List all 6 classical forms of dance. Ans. 6 classical forms of dance are: Kathak, North India; Bharatanatyam, Tamil Nadu; Kathakali, Kerala; Odissi, Orissa; Kuchipudi, Andhra Pradesh; Manipuri, Manipur. Q23. Who were the peers? What was their position in the society? Ans. The early settlers in Bengal sought some order and assurance in the unstable conditions of the new settlements. These were provided by community leaders, who also functioned as teachers and adjudicators and were sometimes ascribed with supernatural powers. People referred to them with affection and respect as peers. This term included saints or Sufis and other religious personalities, daring colonizers and defied soldiers, various Hindu and Buddhist deities, and even animistic spirits.